So what does it take to be able to grow tomatoes in a hot, humid climate? In today's video, I'm going to share with you some tips and pointers that will help make you a better gardener and help you be able to grow more healthier, beautiful tomatoes when the heat does kick in. And I'm going to share with you something that I've been using in my garden that will actually help your tomato plants to become more pest, more disease, and more heat tolerant. And spoiler alert, it's not aspirin. Let's begin. Okay, so the one thing you want to do when you get ready to plant tomato plants, you want to do your research. You want to look for varieties of tomatoes that are bred for hot, humid climates. Some of those varieties could be Tropic, Matalusi, Walter, or even some of your hybrid varieties like Florida 91, Tasty Lee. There are just a few varieties of tomatoes that are actually bred to thrive in hot, humid climates. Some other varieties would be Arkansas Traveler, Super Sioux, and Creole. Creole is actually a Louisiana variety that comes from the University of Louisiana. That right there is also bred for hot, humid climates as well. Number two, the next thing that you want to do when you want to grow tomatoes in a hot, humid climate, you got to think about the location where you want to plant your tomatoes. Tomatoes, yes, they love where it's nice and warm, but just like you, tomatoes don't like it when it gets hot. Who does? I don't. So why you want to do that to your tomato plants? That's something to think about right there, isn't it? You want to think about a location that gets 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. That is important. If you don't give your tomato plants 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight, you ain't gonna get no fruit. Simple as that. They need that sunlight for photosynthesis. 6 to 8 hours, okay? All right, good. Now, the next thing you want to do, when it gets the hottest part of the day, you want to offer your tomato plants some shade. Tomato plants can't get up and move when it gets hot like we can. So treat your tomato plants to some nice shade or something like that right there. That can help them out when it gets hot, okay? All right. Now, number three, you also want to provide your tomato plants with enough watering. You want to be able to use some mulch around the tomato plants and everything too. You want to try to keep as much moisture around the root zone. Using a mulch like wood chips or something like that right there actually will keep the moisture from evaporating from around the roots of the tomato plant. Now, if you're growing your tomatoes in containers, you can move your tomatoes to a location where they actually will be a little bit cooler and such too. So give the tomatoes some shade, especially during the hottest part of the day. They will thank you for that with some fruit. Number four, the next thing that you want to do if you're growing tomatoes in a hot, humid climate is ventilation. One thing that the diseases and funguses love is stale, sticky air. Now with tomato plants, they grow closely together in a bunch. Not a good idea. You want to try to space them out. You want to try to get them some space. And you want to try to prune up all the extra suckers and everything that you find on your indeterminate tomato plants. Do not prune your determinate tomato plants, okay? Please don't do that. Determinate tomato plants grow in a bush. You don't want to prune them. Indeterminate tomato plants, on the other hand, they grow into a vine. You can prune those. You want to try to get as much air circulation through to keep those leaves dry. Any stale air that sits around there that's moist and humid is a breeding ground for pests and diseases. The last thing I want to add, and I told you, if you stayed to the end, I was going to share with you what I use to make sure that my tomato plants are able to get through the hottest parts of summer as well. And it's not aspirin either. It's called C90. C90 is sea salt that comes directly from the Sea of Cortez. I've been using this stuff in my hydroponics since 2011 when me and my family moved to Montana, and I had to learn how to grow tomatoes with hydroponics indoors. C90 contains every element on the periodic table in perfect balance, all 92. And the best part of all, it's in a form that tomato plants can readily take up. Now this right here will give your tomato plants more pest resistance, more disease resistance, better drought tolerance, as well as being able to take the heat a lot better. I like C90 so much, I use it when I set up my new saltwater aquarium, a 180-gallon acrylic saltwater tank. And C90 can be used in a saltwater aquarium. You can use it in your garden. You can use it to feed your cattle. C90 has a lot of uses. I hope this video has helped you out in understanding how you can grow tomatoes in a hot, humid climate. It's not easy, but if you follow these steps, I guarantee you're going to have tomatoes during the hottest parts of summer. And another option, you might want to try looking at growing indoors too. If you'd like for me to cover some videos of showing you how you can grow your tomatoes indoors, please leave it in the comment section below. And please hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm and it helps to spread the videos to others out there to watch. I'm John Jr. This is Tomatoponics. Take care of yourselves. God bless.